trapped in the Abuja web. The sound of cars and buses in Abuja filled the air like music. As I sat in my car, stuck in the usual traffic in Gwarimpa, I thought about everything that had happened in the last year. My name is Kelechi Okoro, and this is the story of how I almost lost everything but found a way to stand again. It all started on a very hot Monday morning at my office in Jobi. I had just won what I thought was the biggest deal of my life. It was a government contract to supply medical equipment to rural hospitals. The deal was worth millions. It was the kind of chance that could take my small business to a new level. My best friend, Ton, had introduced me to a consultant who promised to make everything go smoothly. At first, everything looked fine. We had meetings, signed papers, and even made payments to speed things up. Kelechi, Ton said one evening as we had drinks, "This is your big moment. Just be careful. Abuja is full of tricky people." I laughed and waved off his warning. "Ton, don't worry. We've done everything right. What could possibly go wrong?" The answer came 2 weeks later in a short email: "Your contract has been cancelled due to issues with your documents." My heart sank as I read those words. I quickly tried calling the consultant, but his number was switched off. I started to panic. I had put all my money into this deal and even borrowed from the bank and friends. Ton's words kept playing in my head: Abuja is full of tricky people. The next few weeks were full of stress. I had meetings, made appeals, but nothing worked. The consultant had disappeared, and I was left to deal with angry creditors. My employees were worried, and my wife, Amora, was upset because our savings were almost gone. One night, as I sat in the living room staring at the TV, Amora came and put her hand on my shoulder. "Kelechi, you're stronger than this," she said calmly. "We will get through this together. But you have to fight." Her words gave me hope. The next day, I visited a lawyer who told me to file a report with the EFCC, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. It was not easy, but it was a step forward. I also started calling everyone I knew to find more information about the consultant. One evening, Ton called me. "Kelechi, I found something." We met at a small cafe in Wustu. Ton handed me a folder. Inside were papers showing that the consultant had done similar scams before. This was the proof I needed. With this, my lawyer and I pushed harder. The EFCC eventually caught the consultant, who admitted to everything and exposed other people involved. But that was not the end. The investigation showed that a rival company had caused my disqualification. The government gave me back the contract and even apologized publicly. I had won, but it had been a tough battle. I was tired, and my finances were still recovering. A few months later, I stood in a rural hospital, watching nurses unpack the medical equipment I had supplied. Pride filled my heart. Amora stood beside me, smiling brightly. "You did it, Kelechi," she said. "We did it," I replied. This experience taught me a big lesson, one that every young Nigerian should learn. Taking shortcuts or looking for quick wins can lead to big problems. Success takes time, but it feels better when it is honest. Now, as I face new challenges in Abuja, I remember these lessons and keep moving forward. So, my friend, when life gets tough, remember this: even in the darkest times, there is always a little light waiting to shine.